Lucifer Season 1 episode review video. Before I get into that though, pretty important, if you're not caught up to the point where I am at rewatching or watching Lucifer, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention as well as put in the description for you. If that happens to be the case, you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any potential spoilers. And from here on out, this is now a first time watch for me. This will be Lucifer Season 1, Episode 11. The title of this episode is called Saint Lucifer. And this will be my review, reaction, recap after just finishing watching the episode last evening. Chloe wakes up with all of her clothes off and says, "Oh God, what have I done? Detective, it was extraordinary. We didn't do the nasty," Lucifer tells Chloe. "I turned you down. What, you've been trying to sleep with me all this time?" Lucifer mentions that Chloe said it was too hot in there, and that's why she took off all her clothes. Chloe tells Lucifer that last night was a fluke, and Lucifer tells Chloe that she snores. Lucifer tells Maze that he can be mad at her forever. And then at a crime scene, "Detective, you left these at our sleepover last night," Lucifer says as he arrives at the crime scene. "And, not mine," Chloe says. Obviously, she's lying. "Another dead guy who's a former NBA star. He turned his life around after leaving pro ball. His name is Tim." Chloe says only Lucifer would use an opportunity to talk about himself when somebody has died. Malcolm has Dan the douche detained against a pole, kind of like Walt did in Breaking Bad Season 1 when he had Crazy 8 zip-tied to that pole. The victim's wife was generous. All the person had to do was ask. I think the victim's wife said this, Vanessa. Lucifer tells Chloe he thinks he's going to have to turn his game up. Chloe says, "Whatever you say, Saint Lucifer," the title of the episode. Lucifer then goes to see Dr. Martin. He tells her he feels good for not sleeping with Detective Decker. Why do you feel good about that? Sleep with Detective Decker, for crying out loud. Jesus. True good needs to come from a place of selflessness. Chloe and Lucifer confront a suspect in the murder. He had pawned the victim's championship ring. He's just a homeless man. He was already dead, he says, when he came by. Lucifer gives him his shirt and pants. Another act of selflessness. Another good deed, but he's not getting the rush like before. Chloe and Lucifer go to talk to the wife of Tim again, Vanessa. And then next, Chloe talks to a young man. She says they're going to need to test him for gunshot residue. And then Chloe and Lucifer attend a luncheon for this Tim guy. Lucifer performs at the luncheon. And then the person playing the piano says, "Why are you enjoying yourselves? Tim is dead." Kyle, this person, loved Tim. Kyle and Tim were in love. Tim was cheating on Vanessa with Kyle. And Vanessa actually knew about the arrangement with Kyle. Then we have Dan the douche tells Malcolm, "You almost died, and this is what you want to do with your second chance." And then Dan is able to kick Malcolm's food out of his hands despite being tied up. He's going to put a bullet in Lucifer, and when he pulls the trigger, Dan will take the fall. The lawyer comes to Chloe's and threatens her to back off the case. Lucifer wants to push pause on a murder investigation so he can have a party, Chloe says to Lucifer. Chloe misses the old Lucifer. At least he would have had her back. Maze shows up while Amenadiel's eating. I can't remember where this was. It might have been at the paddock. I'm not sure, though. He's eating a medium rare steak by himself. Ugh, I gotta have it medium, not medium rare. And Maze says Amenadiel is not fun by any definition. And then there's a story, and I, for some reason, left this out about something that Lucifer wanted to know, and Amenadiel was behind it. Chloe knows what Will Fleming, the lawyer, desires. Chloe thinks Vanessa killed Tim. Dan, the douche, breaks free from the zip ties, keeping him to the pole. Malcolm shows up at Club Lux and tells Lucifer he's here to murder him. Malcolm tells Lucifer he made a deal with an angel and he's got orders to take him out. Lucifer knows the orders, of course, came from Amenadiel. And Lucifer shows Malcolm his devil face, and Malcolm says, "Is that all you got?" Interesting. Most people wet themselves. Rumor says you're not immortal anymore. Lucifer gives Malcolm his coin as a one-time offer, and Malcolm decides not to shoot Lucifer. Maze and Amenadiel, we find out, have had sex, steamy, hot sex. And then Lucifer puts the pieces together that Vanessa did kill Tim. He doesn't know exactly all the details, but Detective Decker will figure those out, as she always does. Vanessa shoots Lucifer, and then we cut to Dan the douche arriving at the Lux, and Lucifer arises when Dan sees him down. And Dan says Lucifer looks pretty good. There's not a scratch on him, when before he was bleeding and stuff, like that. And then Vanessa is about to talk about Tim to the crowd of people at the Lux, saying Lucifer isn't going to be there now. But Lucifer shows up, of course, and Lucifer was right. Chloe figured out all the details. Lucifer knows Maze was having sex last night with her bedhead. And she tells Lucifer that she slept with his brother. Why is it sometimes he's immortal and sometimes he's too human? Well, that's interesting. He needs to test a theory. So, tread carefully, Maze. Tread carefully, Maze. Lucifer goes to Chloe's place. May I come in? Yes, Saint Lucifer is done. Chloe says she's been thinking a lot about the other night. Maybe their thing goes beyond work or sex. She tells Lucifer she can't let her guard down. He makes her vulnerable. I can't talk all of a sudden. That's a common theme with me sometimes. And then Lucifer, while this is happening, he's actually cutting his hand during this. It appears you make me vulnerable too, as Lucifer's hand is bleeding when before when Chloe wasn't around, his hand was, not bleeding. So we know that when Chloe's around Lucifer, he's like mortal. And then when Chloe's not around, he's immortal. When Lucifer is trying to do his tricks with Chloe, they don't work. It's like he's not the devil around Chloe. So, my score of this episode, of course, that's what ended the episode with You Make Me Vulnerable Too. I'm going to give it an 8.1 out of 10. It was good, but I felt some of the parts dragged. In my opinion, the female character of the episode, it's a coin flip here. Chloe was pretty important in this episode. But Maze, whatever you want to call her, was pretty important as well. And then the male character of the episode, I don't think anybody else really stood out except for Lucifer. I could be wrong. You have Kyle that did some pretty good acting when he flipped out, like, "Why are you guys enjoying yourselves? Tim is dead." And we're going to rate the villain from now on, if I can remember them, which I intend to do. Vanessa, well, she shot Lucifer, although it didn't do any damage to him, but she shot him, so... I'm going to give Vanessa, the wife, a 6.0 out of 10 for her shooting Lucifer and being like, all she cared about was really money. So you've heard what I have to say. Now, of course, it's your turn. If you're a fan of Lucifer and want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please make sure that you Hulk smash that like button. I'll wait. There you go. Share the video with anybody you know. Put this video on any one of your social media platforms if you deem it something that you want to share. Sound off in the comments section about what your thoughts are on this episode. What would you score it, and whom would be your male and female character of the episode? If you want to rate Vanessa as our random villain of the episode, you can do that. And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. You're watching the video anyway. Subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And JDev will return. And what do you desire?